Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Megyn Kelly does not hold back on Jake Tapper, and she calls him out for his refusal to report on what was actually happening to Biden's mental decline. Let's dive in.
I did ask Joe Biden to be transparent about his health records in an interview in 2020. I did ask him about the fact that voters
but then he wasn't.
Thought that he was not transparent at all. No.
He promised you that he would be transparent about his health records, and then he wasn't. And when you sat with him again,
at all.
including 1 month after the Jackie Walorski thing, you didn't ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs, that he was losing his train of thought regularly, that he was slurring, that he was incomprehensible, that he was getting lost on the White House lawn. You sat right across from him and you asked none of that, notwithstanding the fact that he had promised you he would be fully transparent about his health issues. You know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her. You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it.
That's correct, I didn't.
You covered the Biden presidency aggressively throughout the 4 years, and you didn't cover mental acuity hardly at all. I mean, time and time again, when issues came up, you seemed to be running cover for the president.
I don't think
interested.
That's true.
Well, I mean, we'll start with the Lara Trump issue that you referred. Here it is. This happened in 2020.
Joe Biden, as we all know, has worked to overcome a stutter. How do you think it makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that?
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable
you are
to watch somebody on stage
that's so amazing.
You're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline.
And it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel
Lara
sorry
Trump.
for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it. I'm sure it was from a place of concern. We all believe that. Lara Trump, thank you so much.
She was totally right. That's the thing, because when I watched that clip, and I'm giving voice to what a lot of people watching the show are feeling, Jake, I feel angry because she was right. And not only did you not allow her to make her comments, but you seemed to try to humiliate her. You had a hostility toward the position, but she was totally right. And then you lectured her on how she was in no position to diagnose cognitive decline, which you guys do at length, including on page 4 of your book. You describe at length his cognitive decline, which is all she tried to do with you. But you had such a visceral reaction to her. And my feeling is that's because you didn't want to hear it.
Her comments have aged well. My comments have aged poorly. I own that. But I think what is significant is, in addition to me owning that, the reporting that Alex and I have done, which is beyond just, and when I say just, I don't mean to diminish it, but the comments of Joe Biden making gaffes, saying things stupid, tripping, are all important and all deserved to be aired and all deserve scrutiny. But as you know, Megyn, because even though you look 30 years younger than me, we're roughly the same age, Joe Biden has been saying stupid things for decades. Okay?
I get what you're saying, but this minimizes it too, because it was more than saying stupid things. But I'm telling you, like over here in my ecosphere, we were covering all of these. It wasn't just falling down; it was getting lost. It was some of the stuff you report in your book. We knew, and we were reporting on, like the multi-jump cuts in the videos of him, where it was obvious he couldn't get through a 1-minute take. So they had to use those. It was clear to us that he was using teleprompter, and there was some reporting on that at the time, all of which the White House was denying. Now, with the current White House, I have some connections. With the Joe Biden White House, I had none, but you did. You did. And so while You've been in Washington 30 years, Jake. You guys, you and CNN have White House connections, but there was no effort, none, to get to the bottom of this. And now for you guys to write this book, like, there was a cover-up. It's like there was a cover-up and there was an attempted cover-up. It could only ever work if you allowed it.
Folks, this is Jake Tapper's book. I am only about a quarter of the way through, and I already have multiple annotations here about how they had to cover up Joe Biden's decline. Granted, that is the nature of a good book, but that's also the nature of the mainstream media. This is like dealing with an addict and you finally sat down to have that long-needed intervention. And Jake even has the guts to own up to some of it, but he doesn't have the guts to say that, hey, I was a part of this. Eventually, he'll get to that stage. Probably when he's about 75 and he's in hospice care and he's surrounded by his loved ones and a journalistic friend, longtime friend, finally asks him an important question and then he makes his confession. That's probably what's going to happen here. But this dude will not take responsibility because this man, a major CNN host, all right, a major mainstream media host, at least I'm 99% sure it's CNN. I might have gotten that wrong. But no, this dude has been in Washington media, as Megyn Kelly said, for 30 years. And he knew Joe Biden had lost his mind somewhere around early 2021. I often point to the Biden Falls incident when Joe Biden fell off of his bicycle. That was usually the incident that most people realized, oh, this man has his finger on the nuclear launch codes, and he hasn't exactly had his breakfast today. And here it is, 3 p.m. Biden was not all there. Okay? That man was in clear mental decline, and people like Jake Tapper not only allowed it to happen, but refused to report on it. The slimiest part, I think, of all of this happens in the quote that you heard right towards towards the end there that, oh, well, we knew Joe Biden has had a history of gaffes. Gaffes? I'm sorry, but forgetting that a person that had just recently passed away and then wondering why she wasn't there at a major speech isn't a gaffe. Okay, that is clear memory loss. That isn't Dory's short-term memory loss. This ain't Finding Nemo. This is the President of the United States, the leader of the free world, the most important single person in the country that isn't named Dolly Parton. This person needs to be in clear and total control of his own faculties. Joe Biden didn't have it. He didn't, and it was according to this book that Jake Tapper himself had a major role in. See the name? Jake Tapper, right on the front, and a picture of Biden with his eyes covered. What a joke. What an ugly, disgusting joke to perpetrate on the American people. That finally, when you have the guts to come out and say what everyone else already knew. By the way, there's something in this book called the Politburo, which was essentially the ring of advisors that kept Joe Biden running. Jill made sure, that is Dr. Jill, his wife, made sure that he was up and running and doing, human things and not sitting on his front porch in a rocking chair looking at an ice cream cone, wondering where his 8th grandchild was at. The President of the United States is without a doubt the most important person in America. It's plain and simple. The fact that we had a cadaver as a puppet, a literal weekend at Bernie's happen, and our country still functions is in one way a testament to the actual strength of our Constitution, that we were even able to function with a literal cadaver somehow walking around. And, this is the real reason Jake Tapper is writing this book. It's not because he felt some culpability and felt guilt about this whole situation. He's trying to convey it, but he didn't feel it during the time. We know, here's the real reason deep down, why the mainstream media refused to report on this. Because they know their viewers are nuts. Their viewers are 100% planters nuts crazy. Okay? These people will believe anything that the mainstream media says it, so long as it goes with the mainstream narrative. If it goes against that narrative whatsoever, they will throw a fit, and then they will take their views elsewhere. Go, seriously, just look at any comment section on MSNBC, CNN, Washington, not the Washington Times, Washington Post, New York Times, NPR. Go and just read the comment section on Facebook, and you'll see how crazy these liberals are. They will deny reality every single opportunity because reality flies in the face of what they believe. And so Jake Tapper wrote Original Sin not because he feels bad, but because he can make a buck off of it. That's the real reason, and I feel bad that I even gave him money. Granted, it was $5 off at Barnes & Noble, but the reality is I bought this because I wanted to know what was in it. I wanted to know how bad things got. And so here's the last thing that I have. Just as a random example, in 2020, on a trip with the president, when the idea of re-election campaign came up, the official privately expressed bewilderment. There's no way he's too old, the cabinet secretary told another member of the cabinet. This is on page 57. There are over 300 pages. Original Sin wasn't just in the Garden of Eden, apparently. It was fomented and created behind the scenes like a serpent, wringing its coils around the neck of something good and beautiful, and it almost snuffed it out. This thing makes me unbearably angry, and I hope you understand that as well. Jake Tapper basically kept this hoax alive, or at least helped to in some capacity, and Megyn Kelly is rightly calling him out. He's not squirming his way out of this one, folks. And we have, the receipts. Thanks, Jake. Thank you so much for your profile and courage. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Till then, y'all have a good one.